Ciao, mi chiamo Stefania Palumbo. Oggi usiamo questo nuovo palette di Nabla Cosmetics, Soul Blooming. No guys, I'm just kidding. I'm totally gonna do this in English. Hi guys, my name is Stefania. Welcome to my channel. So today we are going to play around with the new Nabla Cosmetics Soul Blooming palette. If you saw swatches of this on Trendmood, they were so nice. So I have not been excited for a palette in a long time. I was excited for Natasha Denona, and then other than that, there's palettes I've obviously liked, but everything's so warm toned, and I wanted something inspiring, and this is inspiring for me. I still need to play around with the blue shades and stuff, but it was €35, which is about $44. So about average price as far as, you know, palettes go. It took a week to come in, and I think I only paid $5 for shipping. And that's because I got this, and then I got the Dreamy palette and some other single stuff. So if you guys want to see a review on other stuff I ordered, just let me know. But yes, this was my first purchase from them. They are an Italian brand. I don't know that much about them. I wish I would have just gone to a makeup store while I was in Italy this summer, but I didn't. I was trying to be good and trying not to annoy the shit out of my husband. So I did not do that. But anyways, I will make sure I insert swatches before we get into this demo. And then I'll come back for final thoughts. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I truly do appreciate it. I look forward to, you know, reading your guys' comments, and this has just been really fun for me. So thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. And let's get into the demo part now. Oh, so pretty. Let's begin. So we're going to start with Anastasia concealer to prime the eyes, or that's what I usually use. So nothing different here. We're going to take the lightest shade in the palette, which is Chamomile. It's just a very light transition shade, and really I'm just going to work that into the crease and just kind of blend it all over. It's okay if it goes up a little bit high. It's the lightest shade in the palette, so just take your time and blend, blend, blend. Next we're going to take in the transition is the shade Bolero. It's that pink shade. It is a bright corally pink, and windshield wiper motions, just going back and forth and really deepening up that crease. You can be as sloppy as you want as long as you're blending well as far as these transition shades go. So I always kind of angle mine up a little bit above my crease because I feel like it helps lift the eyes. So I just go right over that Scotch tape and blend, blend, blend. And yeah. Next we're going to take the shade Gia, which is a little bit darker, and same thing, we're going to go right into that transition and really just deepen it up through the crease. I'm focusing this more on the back half, but just to create a little bit more depth. And same exact thing, you are just going to keep blending. I know I've said that a million times in this video, but that's the key. Next we're going to take the shade Middle Karma, and on a more precise brush, this is my Wingoss 04. This is my favorite as far as going deeper into the crease, and we're just going to focus this on the outer part to add a little bit more depth, and I promise we're almost done with crease shades here. And I wanted you guys to see I am, as I said before, flicking it up a little bit just to create that nice shape and have my eyes a little bit more lifted rather than angling the brush down. Okay, we're going to go in with the darkest shade of the palette, which is Caravaggio, and we are just going to put that on the outer portion of the eyelid. So I did tap it off because it looked like it picked up a lot, and I try not to go in too dark. I'd rather build it up, but the shade was completely fine and buildable. It didn't go in too deep, so I was kind of happy about that. But you're just going to focus on the outer part, same exact thing, create that shape, flicking it up rather than following your natural eyelid. If you like the way your natural eyelid is, then by all means keep it the same, but I would like to look a little bit more awake, a little facelift actual. next step is just grabbing a clean blending brush, and I'm just going to go over and make sure everything is blended and seamless, and that's really it. Just making sure everything looks precise and nice and neat and not a mess. So clean up any mistakes from before and just make sure everything is blended nice and together. I'm also going to go in with the shade Bolero one more time, just to kind of bring that pink back in case you see it disappear. We are going to cut the crease just a little bit. Becca's Banana Concealer is actually my favorite for this. It's super creamy and like a very pale yellow. So I really like this to cut the crease. And for this, I'm just taking a tiny little flat brush. Just take your time with it. Doesn't need to be super precise. You can fix that later. It all depends on the shape of your eyelid as far as how easy this goes. But just really, you know, take your time. I'm only going about halfway in.
Any ideas?
And then again, pick up Bolero and go over those creases. You can see it's a little bit messy up there, so no worries. Just go back in with a crease shade and blend it out so that it looks nice and smooth again. Let's get into the most exciting part, which is all the shimmer and metallic shades. So we're going to go in with Climbing Rose, and we're going to use this dry on a synthetic flat brush. I just wanted to show you guys a real impression of the palette, and so you guys could see what it looks like, you know, without adding anything to it to make it more shimmery. I always go in Fix Plus, no matter what shade, what brand, anything as far as metallic shades. I just like them to pop, but some of you may not, and some of you probably want to know what it looks like without it. So that is what it looks like completely dry. And now I'm going to grab some Fix Plus, and this is with it wet. So it definitely shimmered a lot more with it wet, which is not a surprise. I don't think that's a fault to the palette. I think I go in with every single palette like that. I don't know why my voice is so raspy. I'm sorry, guys. It's like 4:30 or 4 a.m. Okay, so I did want to show you guys also going in with a finger. Sometimes these shades do appear more using your finger. I know my finger's not pretty, just ignore it. And I think this actually made the biggest difference. So in that inner corner, I am taking the shade Philosophy, which is almost like a peachy gold. It has a duochrome shift to it. It's really pretty. I decided to go ahead and go in with my finger because I felt like that worked the best. But I mean, you can always use a brush. I just decided why not use my finger if it was going to apply better. Okay, so now we're just going to take a little tiny brush and we are going to do Honey Drip on the inner corners. It is a bit of a chunky shade, I will say that. I'm not getting any fallout from it, but it definitely is the chunkiest shade in the palette. I think it's the only one formulated that way. And we're going to take that on the brow bone as well. Okay, and now I'm going to go in and do some lashes and eyeliner, and I will be right back. I use Marc Jacobs Highliner in the shade Pink of Me just to open up my eyes a little bit. It is a baby pink shade, and it just helps you look a little bit more awake, or you could always use a cream shade if you have that. Next, we are going to just smudge out that lower lash line with Caravaggio again, and you're just going to take this about halfway in. I just wanted to keep it still nice and bright, so just smudging that out and kind of connect that with the top lash line, that top little wing. Next, let's take Bolero again. I know I've used this shade a lot in this tutorial, and you are just going to smudge it out. I just want everything to look nice and connected, and do the same thing we did in the crease, just to kind of tie it all in, tie it all nice together in a pretty little bow. take my Badgal Bang mascara from Benefit and just do that bottom lash line, which I just have to be a little bit slower when I do this because I always get it on my nose. I don't know why. You're gonna play with some, what is this? Alright, so we're gonna take the Heavy Metal liner and we're just gonna mess around, play around with it a little bit in the inner corner. I know I have that zip there, it's not getting covered. I don't know what's going on. These are one of my favorite as far as glitter liners. I'm just trying to clean this one and like the Peel Pop one from Too Faced. Urban Decay one. Because I feel like this one is a little bit better. This one. But I need to mess around. Alright, I am back, guys. So overall thoughts for first impressions, I am in love with this new palette. I think this is probably going to be one of my favorite palettes because it's something I don't have in my collection. Everything blended very well. I had no problems with anything. The only thing I will say is Honey Drip, which is like this shade right there. It is a little bit chunky. So I will say that that is the only shade that I don't love. And I did a swatch for you guys on my hand. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's not a bad shade. I still used it obviously in the demo, but it's just a chunkier shade. So just know, you know, I just want to make you guys aware of that. But luckily it's only that one shade. Everything else performed perfectly well. Yeah, so that is it. I definitely think it's worth checking out. And let me know if you guys picked up this palette, what you guys thought. But I am over the moon with Nabla Cosmetics. So it's always nice to discover a new brand. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and I will see you next time.
Gosh, my nose is always running, always running.